Welcome back to Chasing Trophies and another great day of football. It started with Saudi versus Spain. Obviously, I was supporting Saudi, but it was a incredibly tough game for a Saudi fan. But Spanish fans will be so happy they completely dominated the game. Bhai, kya football खेले Spain from the first second. They were incredible. जब लमीन यमाल आ गया था 11 में मेरे को पता था this is going to be a tough game, but it just grew tougher and tougher. Oyarzabal scoring a couple of goals and getting an assist in the first 15-20 minutes itself. Game wahi nipad gaya tha, but the attacks were constant. Saudi just couldn't get control of the ball. They couldn't build any attacks. Defensively also, they looked bleak. Whenever they were trying to clear the ball, they were hitting each other. It was deflecting off their own players, and things were looking very, very tough for Saudi Arabia, and they continue to be tough. Lamine Yamal getting his first ever World Cup goal, and this guy is going to be a superstar in football. What a player he is. Incredible, and the link up with him and Oyarzabal is really good. And Spain are going to get better and better as the tournament progresses because their star players will come back fit. We saw Nico Williams coming in the second half. If you see the second half as well, they made the changes immediately. Lamine Yamal was off, Oyarzabal was off, and the tempo slowed down a bit. Spain were still creating chances. Saudi still couldn't do anything. They were struggling to get into the half, let alone the opposition box. But they did get another goal thanks to Cucurella, Spain, and made it 4-0. And right now, Spain will be favorites to win the group, and they will top the group, and they will get stronger as the tournament progresses. Yes, the first game was very frustrating as a Spanish fan. If you're looking at it, I'm sure they were probably saying, "What are we doing? We can't finish our chances." But they were much better this time around, and they have to understand, Lamine Yamal came off the bench in the last game. He wasn't available. Nico Williams is still coming off the bench, so they don't have their full team still. But it's looking like a solid team. Pedri is there. They've got Olmo, Oyarzabal, Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams will come back as well, and they're going to look very dangerous. For Saudi Arabia now is just about trying to have a better performance against Cape Verde. But the way they're playing, it doesn't look like they're going to win the game there as well. They're struggling to hold the ball. They're struggling to pass it around, which wasn't too much of the case against Argentina. And last year, they were a bit more dominant on the ball in Qatar. Maybe it's the conditions. Maybe it's the lack of game time that the players are having in the Saudi league. Maybe it's the coach, the manager. There's a lot of questions to be asked. But yeah, that was the result. One-sided win. Then we had Belgium versus Iran, and this was another amazing game. Very end-to-end stuff. Especially Belgium had most of the possession, but the counter attacks were helping Iran. They scored a free kick that was chalked off. Belgium kept creating, but they weren't being able to get the killer ball. Then in the second half, Kevin De Bruyne did a beautiful play. He went around on the corner line and then slid it in, but then a brilliant save from the Iran goalkeeper, making sure that Belgium couldn't score. And then what happened was there was a red card as well. Belgium got a red card, and things started looking bleak for them. Then Iran got into the game a bit more. The game ended 0-0, and Belgium still had 70% of the possession. But man, this Belgium golden generation, they still have 2-3 players left of that, but they're not being able to capitalize. I don't know what it is. They've got some young talent there too, but they're just not being able to capitalize. Whoever their manager is, they're not working as a unit, and they'll be very frustrated. It's a bit of like the Turkey situation, maybe less worse, but dominating the play like that, dominating possession like that, having so many chances but not able to finish, not getting that last through ball kind of situation, that will really impact them. And a lot of Belgium fans will be disappointed because now they can still get knocked out. At the time of recording, Egypt still hasn't played. They have to play New Zealand, and we're waiting to see what happens, the result of that game. But if someone wins over there, that makes Belgium chances even more difficult. And to be very honest with you, Iran really shut them down, man. Defensively, they shut them down. They've also got 2 points now. Belgium got 2 points. Then we had the Cape Verde Uruguay game, and what a game! This was the game of the day so far for me. Incredible game of football, man. What a team this is turning out to be. Everyone is going to be talking about Cape Verde, and this time they adapted. Last game they were defensive. This time they were going on the attack as well. They were scoring goals. They scored their first ever goal through a free kick. Can you imagine? Through a free kick, Cape Verde scored a free kick. That's the first ever goal. Incredible stuff from them, and well done. The way they played the game. Uruguay again starting very slow like they did against Saudi Arabia. They were slow off the blocks after the first goal. Then they started pumping things up. Then the equalizer. It was an unfortunate event. The Cape Verde players down cramps. The Uruguay players helping him. Then he let him go, and then he made an extra body in the box, and Uruguay scored. Then right after that, they scored again, made it 2-1, and it looked like it was going to be very difficult for Cape Verde to come back with their because they were a defensive kind of team trying to play on the counter attack. Then the second half came. Uruguay kept attacking, kept attacking. They switched off again, and then they took a throw in. They gave it the ball like at the back. Muslera messed up. He charged in. He messed up. Cape Verde got the ball and they scored. They scored, man, and then it became 2-2, and then they looked like the better team at times. And Uruguay was just fluctuating, man. They tried. Getting in Nunes, it didn't really work out for them. He did create a few chances. He did create a very good chance, actually, but there was no one there to finish. Just missed a striker, and Uruguay will be very disappointed with this performance. Last two performance, especially against Saudi, they were wasteful, and then here again, they just keep switching off suddenly. I don't know what it is. They look good, and then they switch off. They have players like Federico Valverde, their captain, who's quality. They've got like good experience as well, but just not being able to get past the line. But Cape Verde is going to be partying, man. They could have won this game. They could have, and they were pissed off because the referee stopped the game as well in the end. It is what it is. I think they will take the point, and now the Saudi Arabia Cape Verde game will be very crucial. Whoever wins that game will probably qualify. Uruguay, remember, if they want to qualify, they'll have to beat Spain. There's no way around it. Especially if the other game ends up in a victory between Cape Verde and Saudi, then Uruguay have to beat Spain to stay in the situation, and goal difference might help them. Otherwise, it looks very tricky for them. But yeah, this was the recap of today. A lot of things happened. Started off with a one-sided game, then a draw, and then another draw. Let's see what happens in the Egypt game versus New Zealand. That should be a good game as well. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, subscribe button. Let me know what your game of the day was. For me, it was definitely the Cape Verde and Uruguay game. Take care, guys, and see you guys soon.